tale of 1 quarter of good basketball and 3 quarters of absolutely horrific basketball. I didn't want to watch that. I'm sure everybody in the stands didn't want to watch that. You go from shooting 60% in the first quarter to 20% in the second, to 14 in the third, to 10 in the fourth. That's just really bad basketball, and it's ugly to watch, and we're just lucky that we escaped with a win. It's obvious that you can see that we have a lot of youth, and we have a lot of things to correct and fix. We'll take the W and we'll move on.
It's a lot going into it. You guys are a couple foul calls didn't go your way in the first quarter, but you guys really set a standard for that first quarter, and you guys, was it just internally maybe thinking it was there and everything clicked and it just didn't, or?
Well, I think that's obvious. It clicked for a first quarter, and then it didn't click in the second, third, and fourth. And I don't think it's from a lack of trying. I don't believe that. I think you do have, it's human nature to let up a little bit, and we addressed that consistently in the huddles and at halftime and in between quarters. And I saw just a little bit of that from certain individuals. But overall, we just couldn't put the ball in the basket. I mean, nothing went in for us. Shots that normally go in did not go in. And when that happens, you've got to get to the free throw line. And we went to the free throw line, and we still shot 55% from the free throw line. Just nothing. It was a lid on the basket today.
Rebounding the basketball, you guys were able to take a lot of pride, especially on the offensive side this afternoon. Amadea and Chas both set career highs in rebounds this afternoon. Do you at least like the effort there where they're continuing possessions, continuing to try to find that open look and maybe get the lid off the basket?
Chas on that one rebound skied like she was 5'11". I couldn't believe how high she got up. I was really impressed. Amadea was simply awesome on the boards. Anytime you get 19 rebounds, 15 of them offensive, you have to feel really good about that. Her teammates really did a good job of missing shots so she could collect those 15 offensive boards. But, it just wasn't Amadea, and it just wasn't Chas. I thought that Angela did a really nice job on the boards. After laying a goose egg at Ohio State, I thought Kadri came back and gave us 5 boards in 19 minutes, which wasn't too bad. It's still not up to the standards of what we want for her, but she's trending in the right direction in terms of rebounding. We've just got to get her scoring the ball a little bit more effectively, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. But when you miss that many shots, you're gonna have a lot of chances to rebound it.
Was there a genuine sense of maybe disappointment going into Friday, and how different of a disappointment is this given what wasn't accomplished?
I don't think there was a disappointment on Friday a lot. I'm with the head coach from Ohio State before the game, and we're talking, and he's talking about being a Final Four contender and possibly playing in a national championship, and I'm still trying to figure out who's the first guard off our bench with only one guard with really meaningful minutes coming in Chastity Magrosso. Ohio State's a really good basketball team, If they're in the Elite Eight, Final Four at the end of the year, I won't be surprised. That was a good measuring stick for us early on, and it'll benefit us. And very frankly, we'll trend upwards, and if we end up playing them again in the NCAA tournament, I'd like to do that. I think it'd be really good for us. Today's a big disappointment. You can't shoot the ball that poorly and have success, not the kind of success that we're used to. And we were soft, getting to the rim at times, just out of sorts. And some of that may be that I'm trying to find different combinations. And I knew that was going to happen in November. As we try to find combinations that work for us, we could be out of sorts at times a little bit. But, my gosh, somebody's got to be able to score the ball. It just comes back to that. We've got to be able to put the ball in the basket.
You were really happy with Uta's effort at Ohio State. Today, maybe the points weren't as there as you wanted to be, but she got to the line, she was getting open looks, she was extending sequences. Or is that still continuity, something that excites you moving forward from her?
Yeah, Utah did. That's a good way of putting it. I thought Utah did some really nice things today, but then also, I think she in the second half didn't cut very hard, didn't sit down and guard and defend. And I told her that when I took her out of the game. I'm trying to give her extend her minutes and give her a longer leash, and she's got to be consistent in her approach with effort every moment that she's in there. And I thought her effort was a little lesser than what I would want it to be in moments in the second half, and I was not pleased with that. But I think Yutz is going to be a really important part of our rotation because she can score the basketball and she can pass the ball too. But her effort must be at 100% if she's going to play, or she's going to sit beside me.
You treat every quarter like it's 0-0. When you're down 11-2 in that third quarter and you repeat that dialogue, we have to get back in this, be a -3, is there some satisfaction being able to live life enough to play a little bit? Is there still disappointment you lost the quarter and you let open that kind of a lead? What's your feeling about that?
It was 11-2. I thought it was 14-1.
It's something along those lines.
Yeah,
I stink at that.
I thought it was 14-1. The start of the third quarter. We couldn't buy baskets. As coaches, there's only so many things you can say. We can warn them all we want, and we did that in the locker room about starting the second half the way we started the game and playing fast and knowing that Lehigh was going to try to make an effort to get back into the game. And at the end of the day, we just couldn't make shots. And you know, in that first quarter, we had 2 charge calls that went against us and another call early on, but that we didn't let that affect us. And we set the bar for the physicality and the tone of the game. And in the second half when we came out, we allowed missed shots to kind of really affect how we were going to set the tone for the game. And so there's really not a lot of good that came out of the third and the fourth quarter.
Injury-wise, Judith with her plantar fasciitis and Erin with her injury, what are those, with what you can share, those timetables looking like?
Judith is healthy from her plantar fasciitis. It's manageable, and it's manageable. Judith should be back at the latest Buffalo. We're hoping to have her for St. John's and Iona, but I would say the very latest would be Buffalo. Erin's a little bit of a different story. Erin has a stress reaction on the top of her foot, and that's literally a day-by-day situation where we've got to manage that so it doesn't become a stress fracture. She was out there in a shoot-around this morning and was moving pretty well. So I would say possibly Buffalo for her also, but really we're day by day. Thank you.